Hello and welcome back to the Division of Silvertail. Legend of Keepers is back again. Did you see that? In the corner? Discover the mini-bosses. Mini-bosses! That sounds like it'll make this game easier. Maybe I'll even be able to beat it. I'm so sad. But yes, back again. Where I have officially gone mad, and I'm trying to brutally murder every single adventurer. If memory serves, I believe that's what I was trying to do. Yep, vampire who has to be off for a little holiday. You know, even vampires need a holiday. We don't have much money, so I figure I'll just see if the event gives me some money. I assume that gets rid of them permanently, so no. This game. I do always get a little bit down when I've lost to it again. Ooh. When the motivation is full. I mean, I can see a perk in that. I'm not seeing, well, he'll get better anyway, won't he? Without me needing to do anything? More money and stuff for someone who... We'll do the harpy for the relic, because that seems... I like getting more relics, they're good. I think occasionally I get the chance to sell them if I really hate them. You know? Oh, hello. The Banshees offer crying services for a very reasonable price. Professional mourner. Very well. Mourn for me. Mourn for all of my failures. We do need the tears if we are going for the kill strategy now. It feels weird to me, you know? Just weird, plain out weird to be doing things the kill way. I assume 5 to all my resistances is better than better health. See, that's one that's always a bit, I never quite know in games like this, because it's like, if you resist more, then you take less damage. That sounds better, just flat out. Damage not taken is better. But then, health is damage resisted of every form. So, there? Like, 5 resistance. Let's say I get 5 resistance to several things. You know, then it's like, okay, 5 damage off each attack, but then 60 health is, 12? 12 attacks? With 12 of those instead? Anyway, where did I focus on? Is that guy's arm chopped off? That guy's missing an arm, isn't he? Has he always been missing an arm? Good grief, man. What happened to you? I haven't even gone at you yet. Oh dear. Okay. Yeah, okay. Resists penalties. That's going to be a problem. We don't have our vampire, though, so do we want to go for the bleeding strategy, yes or no? You don't like ice. That I can see. You don't like ice either. No particularly strong resistances, apart from him to armor, of course. He does physical damage, so that's a bit of a problem. You also do physical damage. Anyone here doesn't? You do quite a bit of bleeding. I didn't realize that. It does seem like, you know, all of my boss's monsters do a lot of bleeding potential anyway. It's such a shame that we don't actually have the game. What are they doing? Physical at the front, nature at the front, physical at the back. You've got some armor, you've got some armor, you've got a lot of armor. Soldiers behind, so I'll put you there. You resist stuff pretty well anyway. Put you at the back because you're hardy. I'll put you in just... I'm tempted by air, because there's not a whole lot of air resistance. In fact, there's no air resistance. You know, that's going to be the final thing. Just because his physical attack... Oh, we know he does air damage at the front and bleeding. Oh. Yeah, that could work. It's a shame. The thing is, with this bleeding strategy that I'm kind of going for now, it feels like, yeah, I know, I should probably do the rallying horn, because it'll make them stronger. And I will, but bleeding, obviously, does more the longer it's on. So I want to do that early, like I had with the demoralizing strategies. But, there you are. I don't really have anyone tanky, do I? See, you've got a bit of physical resistance but no nature, so I'll put you at the back. And you, little goblin, unfortunately are a rather insubstantial meat shield. You know, although I get beaten by this game a lot, I still don't feel as down about it as I would do to some games. I'm thinking of one in particular, yeah, which just gets me so down. My point was, when I lose in this game, it feels a lot more fair? To me, anyway. It's such a shame they're demoralized. They're demoralized and I can't do anything with it. No. It's so sad. It's so sad to, you know, not be able to demoralize and not to be demoralizing them when I have this great demoralizing artifact. And look, that's hitting their morale too, but I'm just doing it because it hits this guy in the middle for oodles. You should really focus on this guy because he's tanky. But then, do you want to hit the tank or do you want to hit the guy the tank's protecting? Oh, this isn't too bad. She dodges the first trap, and the first trap's going to be a morale hit, which I honestly couldn't care less about at this point. But look, I've hurt all of their morale, more than their health, without even trying to hit the morale. Morale is just such a wonderful strategy, but here I am, not doing it. But to be fair, that's just it. I need to try new strategies, because if I just use the same strategy over and over and over again, then it's just going to be the same strategy. One, it'll be boring to watch. And secondly, it won't be very... It's not good gamership to just use the same one over and over again. That'd be a good way of taking him out, wouldn't it? Tempting? Very tempting? Yeah, fine. One less hero is one less hero, if you can even call them heroes. Ooh, I could totally try and scare that guy away. Alright. I know, I'm not going for the morale lead at this point, but it still is good. Oh, he shoots the back anyway. It still seems like a good thing, if I can, to get some tears. Because I need both, in the end of the day. They found their way to me, which is not exactly ideal, is it? I kinda hoped they wouldn't get to me. I thought this was supposed to be... Oh, it just reduces damage taken. Which of course is good in the long run. Anyway. Leave. Well, that'll just deal with this. I wish they were so easy to deal with my guy. Oh right, new traps. Or money. I'm gonna take a second circular saw, because if I am going for full-on bleeding, imagine if I put that vampire on the back when I have 3 lines. Can you imagine? I can barely imagine just how much that could potentially do. So I've had like 2 trap sets and 2 monster sets stacking bleed, and then just have him at the back. Can you imagine? I don't think I have the tears to really bolster that as much as I'd like, but I'm having so many morale problems, I think I need to do him. Oh, I could extend it with money if I had it. That's a shame. That's a real shame. So, what is this? Fixing will take 5 weeks. The manager is messing up, the trap will be unusable. Modifications, but will it become better? That's one thing which I'm not clear on there. So, you can be in. You can't really. But that's still 2 bleeders, plus vampire. I think we've got what we need to take on veterans. Yes! Once more unto the breach, as it were. I really hope I win this time, but it would be really weird if after all my efforts, I finally win with, hello, what are you? Resistance is up. Replaces... Okay, just once, well that's something. And the first trap is dodged. So, air at the front, physical at the back, physical at the front. You resist a bit of everything, so I'll put you there. Put you at the back, and our little vampire will be sandwiched in the middle. How nice. That should work. I mean, the kill strategy, I can see the value in it. Don't get me wrong. Especially this bleeding thing. I'm actually quite liking how it looks. But it's sort of it's me having to think a different way. I mean, one could ask how much I'm actually having to think differently, because I'm effectively just replacing demoralize with bleed. But there you go. No. Insert bleed effects. Damage dealt 10% per stack of bleeding. I mean, that's got such damage potential. Just so much damage potential. All I need to do is just stack bleeding, but then I could also just bash the bleeding. Okay, so she's used that skill. She can't do it anymore. Which means if I stack bleeding on her now, it's never going away. Never. I think maybe if he can outright kill one, then he should do that. But if he can't, then doubling the amount of bleed on the board is very valuable. Come on, don't kill the vampire. He needs to get you once more at least. Oh dear. That was a shame. But I mean, I'm fascinated in seeing what this vampire can do, because, I mean, it was at the very top of the creature upgrade tree. Is it gotta be OP, you'd think. Ooh. Well, that would kill him, but he's going to die from bleeding anyway. So let's just make the next lot even more powerful. Okay, so we don't need to hit at the front. We do not. No point. Despite the fact that I kind of like the bleeding strategy, at the end of the day, it's true that their morale is always lower than their health. I need to do a lot more health damage just to get the same level of effect. But that said, in some ways it feels like it's easier to... It's definitely easier to take out individual ones when I'm just stacking bleed back and back and back. Here's my guy, who can regain health from bleeding victims. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to see how this bleeding strategy goes. It's not very me. Applies air weakness 4. Now, our vampire does air damage. Right? His big, powerful attack is air damage. I want to take this coil, because if I use that right, that could combo incredibly well. I'd need the vampire to be after trap sets. After trap sets and after bleeding. Preferably. But that is intriguing. Because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to think of good ways. But I'm going to put you into the back set now. Because now I'm all about setting up the bleeding. And then, because if this guy is so vital to our plan here, then I really like his morale to be full, so he can be benefiting from this. Maybe I'll put you out just so that you can get your everything back up? Maybe that's the point. Maybe I should be trying to keep their morale up since I actually have this. Which would also mean not having him in, but there you go. If this guy is so vital, then I should keep him in the back and set things up so he can just eradicate them. That's my thought right now. Is it the right plan? I have no idea. But I'm curious. Ah, you can do more bleeding damage. And that can make air resistance even more powerful. I like that. I like the potential of that. Seminar. I hope I have what I need. Plus morale. Damage attacks applied burn 2. Oh, that would have been great. The Monstrous Resources Manager feels that your employees at the end of their rope. As such, she's suggesting you different activities to stimulate them. I mean, more morale isn't bad. 15 blood for more morale, that sounds good to me. Let's see what the business trip is. You're going nowhere. Not even for boosted traps. No. Well, I was sending you out for morale anyway, right? So I get a bit of money for that anyway. What's the event? Don't hurt me. Oh, hello. You've called the lab assistant. I like that the lab assistant is a lab rat. That's fun. With one of your artifacts, ready to try a transmutation. Of course, he hasn't asked for your permission, and you can see a book next to him titled Alchemy for Dummies. What is this? Demon attacks regenerate their life by 15% of damage dealt. Or deal more damage when their motivation is full. Do I have any demons? Can I check that right now? You're a demon. You're a demon. I don't have a lot of demons. I have some, but not many. So I am going to try and make him stop, because this thing is temperamental, but not that temperamental. Okay, let's try this new lineup. I'm intrigued to see how well it will work. Right, oh. So, you boost the morale. Don't care. Can't be demoralized? Ha! That would have bothered me once. But not anymore. So, this team is all about dealing as much bleed damage as they can. So, physical at the front, air at the back. Ice everywhere. That's a pain. I guess I'll put you at the front, because you can resist most of that. Ice everywhere. What was that? Air at the back. You resist air fairly well. We'll slap you in the middle to propagate all the bleeds. Kind of wish that I could be... well, there you go. Right, we'll hit them with a full-on circular saw. Or will we? Air weakness 4. Now see, that doesn't affect how much air resistance, only how long it's on them for. So I'm just going to put the electric coil first, hit them with whatever, then smack them with the circular saw, and then it's all about the vampire. So who's got the most physical resistance? Not you. Then you are all protecting the vampire so he can try and finish them off. Let's see how this setup works. Yeah, I think I'm glad I'm going for the kill strategy this time. Oh, darn it. Not necessarily because I want to slaughter them all, but slightly more because I really want to see how... oh, darn it. Shoot. Give them a turn, will ya? More because I want to see... I'm enjoying having to think of new strategies. Trying a completely different strategy to my norm. I mean, it's similar-ish, but not that similar. Okay, air weakness is still at 3. Burning Whip. Making them more powerful would suit with what I'm trying to do here, because I'm just trying to make the vampire as overpowered as I possibly can. My thought is he might be able to just eradicate enemies. Okay, let me see if this is as good as I think. I was kind of hoping for better, actually. I mean, it's taking off a lot of your health, yeah, but... Yeah, okay, fine. I mean, it's a lot of damage for a single unit to do, but, I mean, come on, he's empowered, their air resistance is down, they're bleeding times 6. I really thought that would be an insta-kill. I mean, sure, he might not get more than one attack, because the heroes have the advantage, always. But still? It feels like that should have done a lot more damage to them, you know? Like, a lot more damage to them. Okay, I don't necessarily want to kill this guy yet. I want him to bounce the bleeding back. I really feel like that vampire should have done more damage with all those bonuses, right? I mean... Okay, damage is up by 10%. It would have been more, right? At the time. And then air resistance. Sorry, lowered air resistance, then bleeding. Multiplying damages. That's just weird. Oh well. What are you gonna do? At least I can just keep pushing the bleeding back. Something. A bit disappointed with that, yeah. Oh well. And now my boss has to get punched in the face. At least he knows how to kill things. Why don't I have like a shell on? Don't I get a shell when my units die? Isn't that how that's supposed to work? Or did I misread it? Oh, hello Naga. I kinda want ya. Because, you know, I really like you. But while you do damage to everyone, I think you're definitely more of a morale hitter. I mean, to be fair, you hit everyone, for everything. So you're kind of a bit good for everything, but we want to be doing bleeding damage here. Hello. Don't think I've seen a gnoll before, but I saw those in the new creatures. You gain shell if they're affected by frostbite. That's interesting. Burning and frostbiting. Now that's interesting, but I don't have either of those effects right now, so there's not much point getting him. I suppose I could have gotten him and then tried to get those skills later, but I just don't see the point. I think we've got enough to send someone on a course, don't we? +2 levels. Alright. His toxicity has some potential for serious damage to my enemies. Oh, there we go. Bleeding time. Bleeding 4. That's what we want. Business trip. Who do we send away, and where, and for what reason? Sure. Wait a minute. 30% animal for or weakness. Well, we are trying to kill them. Time for me to pump some iron. Some regen. Okay. On the off chance that I do actually get badly hurt, that'll help me.
Stronger heroes are coming from far away.
With all due respect, I've heard this before. Oh dear, if he gets badly... I've got too many units who need a break. Honestly. Far too many, actually. No, I think with my vampire out, I don't feel confident taking on a champion. So as much as I like risk and reward, I just can't do it. Can't take on the champion, disappointing as that is. Okay, who do we have? Poison, air at the back, morale, and can't be demoralized. You would have been a pain. Right. Air weakness only matters if I'm... Well, I mean, he does air damage, but the only reason I got that was I thought that it would supercharge my... Actually... We'll limit the weaker one first because she can dodge that trap. Yeah, the air thing is only to try and... Well, only was to try and make our lovely vampire do extra damage, but that just wasn't going to work, was it? Air at the back. physical at the back. You can resist both a bit. So you are the sacrificial gargoyle at the back. Then we hit them all with the big fat circular saw times 4. Then we do some nasty things to them. And then we try and finish them off in one way, shape, or form. Well, you're definitely not at the back. Put you in the middle, I guess. You can resist very little, but more than the goblin. So I'm hoping they don't get this far, but they will. I feel like almost all of them have made it to me. This kill strategy isn't killing them very fast. I'm intrigued by what I saw on like the front page about mini-bosses. I assume those are just like super monsters that act like a mini-boss. Or on higher level dungeons, will we get a new mini-boss phase where we get to have mini-bosses? Because that'd be fun. That'd be really fun. The bleeding strategy just doesn't feel like it works without vampire. That's the problem, actually. Like, I've got this whole thing set up, but it only works if I have the vampire. I need to upgrade this guy so he does more damage when they're bleeding, just so I can get his power attack in. Still, we're not doing too badly getting rid of the first one. But again, why is he missing an arm? Was he always missing an arm? Have I actually gone this many episodes without noticing that this guy doesn't have an arm? That's just weird, isn't it? How could I miss something like that? It seems very, important. Okay, well we got one of them down, that's something. And now they'll be bleeding. Razor blades. Wasn't there something for bats in this one? Swarm of bats, more bleeding. Yes. I wonder if the vampire's damage caps on stacks of bleeding, because I could get some serious stacks of bleeding. In theory. Well, that would basically put that one out of action. But I feel like the others have attacks that only hit the front. Although, what would the difference be? Yeah, sure. Oof. Well, he's not gonna last. Which is nice. Bye-bye. Same difference, except this one applies poison. Huzzah! I actually kind of like the goblin. Because it can shoot equal damage at the front or the back. And its attack at the back is physical, and often the ones at the back are the ones with the least physical resistance. Ooh. I want this guy, because I've always felt this guy is perfect for a kill squad. And fire-based resistances. Right. Okay. This is a thing. We can have two separate plans. Like, burning and bleeding. Because this guy, well, he doesn't burn them. Well, he doesn't apply burning, but he does a lot of damage, which is exactly what I have in mind. I feel like that one has some serious potential I want to tap. What are you offering me? What does this do? Broken armor. Tempting. Goblin. Drummer? Interesting. But I don't believe in any of the creatures which boost their own allies, because a lot of my monsters don't even get one turn. Never mind two, because the hero is more powerful than them. Oh. I was just like this one. An employee found a strange flask in a broom closet and drank it all in one gulp. Don't expect to see a growth in intelligence, but they gained muscle mass. Okay, fine. More powerful. Huzzah. Good for you. Siege. Coney some equipment. Rent out some traps. Ooh, this is new. Interesting. I can rent out a lot of traps for a lot of money. That would be tempting for the sheer amount of money. As part of its sales strategy, the dungeon company would like to requisition some of your equipment. With your help, the sales campaign should only last a few weeks. Of course, you will be compensated for the rental. We'll send these two, because I don't care about that one that much, and we don't need that one at all. Siege is great. I want more of those. Bring in the veterans! They don't stand a chance. I mean, they really don't. My guy is at full health. I think I can handle some veterans at this point. Oh, hello, you. Morale losses. Can't be demoralized. I'm still seeing it. If I was trying to do morale at this point, all of their abilities are against the morale strategy. Okay, you shoot fire at the front, which is actually a real pain because you're in the middle. And this guy shoots fire right in the middle. You're worst placed for us, and that guy's got a lot of... Actually, they've all got a lot of fire resistance. I just can't use this guy. No point using him, is there? Okay. Physical at the front, fire at the front, fire everywhere. Jeez. And you don't have good fire resistance. So I guess you're going in there. I'll put you at the front just because I don't really care about you as much. Yeah, I'd rather have you around. This isn't a great setup for my guys, no. Yeah, circular saw here to set them a bleeding. We smack them with everything we have. Then these guys get a bit more powerful in order to try and absolutely rip them apart. No fire resistance either, but you might as well get back. Because all this is shooting at the front anyway. You're as protected from fire as you can be. I've got no good fire resistance. I mean, maybe that big beastie would have had fire resistance, but they've got so much fire resistance that he would barely have been doing anything. I suppose he could have been a tank. Bit too late to think about that now. Of course, he moves them all around. Yuck. Oh well, at least I get a chance to smack them all. Now, if Mr. Flame Eater gets a chance to propagate negatives before he dies, then we should be able to do a lot of poison damage. He is going to get a turn? Oh, and we've got... He may have died, but we've got a Bone Warrior. Hooray. I don't know why setting you on fire increases your bleeding. Sorry, increases the amount of poison in you. Yes, I knew it. I knew these things had a bleeding effect. I've got to try and upgrade that if I can. Oh, this isn't too bad. Look at all the poison we've got on this guy. I really need to, like, use this poison skeleton more. Because his ability to apply poison to everything is going to be really good for damage over time. Especially paired with the guy who can increase stacks of everything. They're bleeding, they're poisoned. This is great. This one isn't even going to get to us. It'll be fun, actually. I mean, honestly, none of them are in a good way. Just increase the bleeding even more. You think they'd have some antidotes on them, some bandages. It just seems like basic adventurer gear to me. Well, this was easy. Does he even get a turn? That poisoning worked really well. Oh, hello. Ooh. Interesting. More armor is good. But I think upgrading this is a bit more my speed right now. But sadly, I'm going to have to call this particular episode here. But don't worry, there'll be more. Lots more. Until I win with every single person who they give me to win with. I'm really curious about the others, because I haven't used any of the other generals. The temptation has been so great to do so. But I haven't, because I want to do that here, and I want to do it after I beat the game with this guy. But I wonder if their strategies are completely different, or if it's just sort of a different spin slightly. I've got no idea. I need to beat the game with this guy so I can finally do that. But that can wait till next time. This was Silvertail. Be sure to come back if you like what you see, and always pick a plan B, because here there be dragons.